Welcome everyone to episode 182 of Just Joshing. I am your host, Joshua Penteleresco. I Write Stuff, podcast 2. Today, my guest is Sofia Evangelina. How do I introduce her? So I was debating about this. I thought, maybe the best way to do this would be to reveal to you how I was introduced to her. So one day, I'm on my Facebook doing my feeds and, just wasting time on Facebook. A friend of mine was posting, it's like, oh my gosh, she has this voice of an angel. You should hear her. And for some reason today, it's like, I'm going to click on this and hear her. And I didn't hear this particular song, but I heard this voice singing. So why don't you listen for yourself?
I've been alone with you inside my mind, and in my dreams I've kissed your lips 1,000 times. I sometimes hear you pass outside my door. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your smile. You're all I've ever wanted, and my arms are open wide. 'Cause you know just what to say, and you know just what to do, and I want to tell you so much. I love you. I long to see the sunlight in your hair and tell you time and time again how much I care. Sometimes I feel my heart will overflow. Hello, is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I wonder where you are, and I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely, or is someone loving you? Tell me how to win your heart, or I haven't got a clue. But let me start by saying I love you. 'Cause I wonder where you are, and I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely, or is someone loving you? Tell me how to win your heart, or I haven't got a clue. But let me start by saying I love you.
I couldn't believe a 15-year-old could sing like that. Nor could I believe who I met when I agreed to interview. First off, special thanks to my mother for giving me the opportunity to have this conversation. So Mila, thank you very much. But I saw Sofia perform, and when I saw her perform, I was really amazed by it. And then I got to meet her in person, and I wish adults, not kids, just kids, adults were like her. So ready to take on the world. I was blown away how she has it so together for someone her age. It is unbelievable. On the flip side, there's still elements of her that are still a little girl, and you can see it. Like she's growing up, but she still has a little bit of that kid in her. I mean, we talk about glitter. I mean, come on. But yeah, I was incredibly blown away by Miss Sofia, and I think you will be too. So let's just get to that conversation. So I'm turning it on like this. So if you got anything incriminating you want to say, make it good. But you are 15, so it might be a little too young for her to do like the really incriminating stuff.
What does incriminating mean?
Like something that
You did something like
bad.
something bad, like something like
Criminal, from incriminating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I stole everything from the world that was rose gold, and I made it mine, and I put a patent on it, and then I said nobody else could have it.
That is the best answer I've ever had to that question. That is the best. So how you doing?
I'm great, thank you. Nice to be in chapters with you.
Nice to be in chapters with you too. So I'm a little intimidated, so you're gonna have to do me a favor here a little bit, because like you're 15 and you already have your first music album out there.
Yeah, well, actually, it's technically just about to hit the streams.
Yeah.
The printed versions of the CDs that we do have are very special because they're basically limited edition. Because what we have is we have a 10 cover album, which is a cover song album, obviously, and then we have 3 originals, and none of those are all released yet. So my cover album is just about to hit the streams as of around July 29th. It'll be on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, everything like that. And then soon after, like in a chronological order, my singles will be released, one after the other, including all the music video productions that we just did in Los Angeles, which are huge, and we're supposed to go after this big youth market and, make them look awesome. So basically, this albums that we have printed here and that we had at the event the other day are limited edition because it has the 3 singles on it and the 10 covers, so it's 13 songs total.
Nice. Wow. You got this all planned out, don't you?
Actually, not really. I just kind of wing it.
You just kind of wing it?
I mean, I know it really well because I work on everything to do with my career every day, but I just wing it.
Okay, so this is going to be my first actually big question. So when did you decide to do this?
Oh, singing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I've been singing and I've been a performer and, been in love with, acting and modeling and performing just since I was born. It started, there's huge stories that are another podcast on its own, maybe, but since I was really little, I just really I felt made to perform, made just without even knowing. Maybe even what performing was, it's just who I was, But I started singing when I was about 5, and from there I was on and off because I was also a skier. I'm also a skier, an athlete. And then I started singing again with lessons when I was 7. And when I was 7, it was when my teacher first told me, to my mom, your daughter has such a jazzy voice. And I was at the time like, no, I don't. I'm just a pop singer. And, I didn't like it at first until, of course, I would understand that would be my biggest superpower. And then, because I, up to now, have been a national team athlete and, the youngest to compete in all these competitions and World Cups and be number 1 in all North America, and, which is also probably another podcast on its own. But I had those careers kind of being juggled. So by now, when I started singing from 7 again, it's been, like I said, a mixture with my skiing. But I've been in love with singing forever, and I've always known that it's going to be what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and I'm in love with it.
I see. So is there like a song in particular I did, or was it just like you did it and you were like, this is what I'm meant to do?
Oh, wow. Big question. Well, my mom showed me Phantom of the Opera when I was pretty little, and I got really drawn into just the whole music of it. So she even took me to Las Vegas because I had, by that point, learned all the songs and the lyrics and everything. So we went to Las Vegas to see the real show, and that's when I just fell in love with the whole music scheme of things. And then soon after, my repertoire started growing because I had opera and I had pop and I guess a little bit of jazzy stuff, and my voice started growing. And then my mom showed me, and we watched the movie together, Burlesque.
Okay.
And that was with Christina Aguilera. And boy, that was the biggest, most incredible shake in the universe ever. I was just, oh my God, that is what singing is. There's nothing else what singing could mean except for that. Like, those powerhouse vocals just shook me from inside, and I said, oh my God, that's what I'm gonna be. I'm not just gonna be any kind of singer. That's the kind of singer I'm gonna be. And anyway, so we watched that movie, and it was absolutely incredible. And I fell in love with Christina Aguilera, and with all those oldies after. We started looking into Motown and soul, and into the oldies like Etta James and Aretha Franklin, and we just fell in love with that kind of type of music and that kind of singing. And so from then on, I started singing like that, and I started doing school talent shows, just performing, and I had to do a cappella because the sound system would fail, and performances here and there, and I kind of got the name for myself of being a mini Christina, which of course I love, but I want to be myself, Sofia. But that is how I guess it started.
Dang. So, yeah, you definitely have it more together than I did at 15, absolutely, for sure. That's awesome. No, you sound incredibly driven now. Mm-hmm. So this is your first album, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask this then. So do you have it sounds like you have although you don't want to have a big master plan, you have an idea where you kind of want to go next. Is that?
Oh, well, no, I have this. I think it's more the opposite way.
Yeah.
I have this big grand scheme of what I want to do in life, and I always have since I was basically came out of the womb. I was like, okay, people, we got things to do. But what I mean to say is I know what I want to be like, and right now we're trying to, because we're so new to this, and me and my mom is a super mom. She's a superhero. She's my best friend and the best mom in the whole world, and she's just basically my life manager. So we're doing everything together, but we're learning everything for the first time because there's so much to learn with. Just even for an example, music licensing, even that on its own is a whole world that you have to memorize because it's so complicated. And no matter how many podcasts we listen to in the car, because not to mention that all the traveling we do, we always fill our time with listening to podcasts and podcast after podcast, and we still know nothing because there's so much to learn. So there's millions of aspects in the music industry alone, and that's not even to talk about the entertainment industry like acting and everything else. So we're learning this all as we go, but we're making steps towards our grand plan, and we're just making all these big shifts and hoping to get where we want to go as soon as we can.
So for you, it's not just about singing, it's about being an all-around entertainer? Is that, or acting?
Yes. I mean, because I've always, like I mentioned, I've always been a little model. I've always loved the fashion industry. So that, to me, is an accessory of my personality. Just I want to become a fashion icon. But outside of that, with acting, I've always been just kind of who I am in the sense of performing in just depicting all these emotions, and I've always been so mesmerized by the world of acting and how you could be an astronaut, or you could go back in time or to the future, and you can make people feel so many emotions, and you can draw so many emotions that you didn't know you had, and you can experience every spectrum of life all within just this range of movies. And it's almost like a fairy tale lifestyle to be an actress, and then that's all a part of it. I feel it's all a part of singing and being a performer. And then there's singing itself and music, and how much I'm in love with music and just the voice itself as an instrument. And there's just I can't even explain you enough how much I want to learn to be the best performer I can be, and how I'm so excited because it's just the very beginning of my journey, and I just can't wait to get better and better and better, and more and more and more of a performer, and become just the ultimate, PPP.
PPP?
Yeah. It's my little code name for my big kind of vision, a powerhouse pop princess.
Powerhouse pop princess. So, I almost like I can almost see like an album with that, like you just dressed up like almost like in like what you. So, ladies and gentlemen, right before we started this interview, we had this. You showed me this castle that was a piggy bank. She showed me almost like kind of like a complete fairy tale setting. So.
Yeah, that was not planned.
No, it wasn't. But it was oddly, after just talking to you for a few minutes, very fitting. So, and
Yes.
it's very, very fitting. So, I'm going to ask. Okay, you're doing mostly covers for the first album, but you have written your own music.
Yes.
So, how is that process for you?
Well, because I guess what we did with the covers is, because I'm such a new singer, and what my manager wanted to do is kind of erase me from the world and then put me into the world, if that makes sense. So she
Yeah.
wanted to start fresh, like a new flower. So with that being said, nobody knew who I was before or my range of voice. So, they wanted to make sure that we could showcase my voice. So what we did is we took all these covers that show different styles and parts of my voice from every little delicacy, and then put that out there so people can have a little bit of background about me. And then with the singles, that's the beginning of me as a brand and of everything I want to be. So I co-wrote the 3 songs with my producer, Brian Tolender, and it was an unforgettable experience because ever since I've been non-stop in love with the songwriting process, which I never even knew I would be so much involved with, and I'll tell you about that after. But basically when we wrote each song, and they're all very different but similar at the same time, they're all so meaningful to me and they all mean a lot to me, and that's what I want to bring to the world and inspire like my fellow youth with. And that just each song ties into the aspect of, in different spectrums of being a kid and having the trials and the hard parts of being a teenager or a kid, or also the happy parts and the silly parts of dealing with boys, which can be so silly. I meant to say dumb. It's true. And it also, the happy aspects of the joys that every kid should feel, because that's the least you can take from life. And then there's also, the hard aspect, which is the bullying and the social issues. And I feel just so ready to share that with the world, and I want to so bad. So that's how I'm coming into the world,
Yeah, I get you. So, you have a lot of different messages, but which of those messages resonates strongest with you?
Well, I feel like that's kind of a hard question because, I know a deep problem, and as a singer, I've always wanted to be the most inspirational singer and really move people and inspire them to do the most with their life and take their life and make themselves the ultimate dream of themselves, because everybody's good at something.
Right.
Everybody has a talent, and even multiple, even if they don't know it, and they may know it. And so what I mean to say is there's some issues that are just so horrible in the world that have potential to be fixed, and they're just waiting for the people to come together and fix it, coming, and they might always be there, but we'll create a stronger force against them, like bullying and cliquing, and within the range of just youth, there's so many horrible things going on, but at the same time there's so many empowering things, and there's so many movements created to bring kids together and to make them feel empowered and to make them feel stronger. So I want to be a part of that and hopefully take it to the next level. And like I said, on the side note, you gotta just have fun and remind everybody to be happy and live the best and happiest life they can, and inspire boys to stop being so stupid.
I feel sheepish right now. No. The only thing I'll tell you, just from my own creative aspects, I write books, is always try to keep it fun, always, because one thing I learned a long time ago, there's not a soul alive, no matter how young or how old, that does not like to play. So if you can always have a little bit of sense of fun in what you're doing, it'll come out in your work.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that life should be like a true expression of happiness.
Yeah.
So people gotta do whatever it is that makes their souls just fly, of happiness. So that's why, you gotta make sure that whatever you do in life is absolutely your passion, and you gotta have a great time doing it. And that's why you're only so young once, and you're only every age once. You're only gonna be 101 once. You're only gonna be 38 once. You're only gonna be 12 once. You're only gonna be 15 once. So you gotta make the most of every day, and you gotta make sure that you share your joy with the world and make the world a happier place too.
That's awesome.
Sprinkle it with glitter.
Sprinkle it with glitter? You
And
like glitter and loves. You like glitter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom would say a little too much sometimes.
Is it like sparkly and like shine? Like what is it about glitter that draws you to it?
I don't know. That's a good question. Nobody's ever asked me that. I mean, how could you not love glitter? But I think it's just because it's so sparkly, and maybe because it's so happy. And I don't know. I don't feel like nobody can look at glitter and not feel all glittery themselves.
See me, I feel that way about Lego.
Lego.
Because Lego is like the simplest toy in the universe. Because really, it's just like little blocks. But when you put it all together, you can build absolutely anything you can imagine.
That's true.
Right. So now, if I was a teacher, that's how I would teach chemistry. Lego. Because you can use.
That's clever.
Yeah. Because then you can just like see, like there's me. Like another one thing I get silly about ice cream. I love ice cream.
Me too.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I don't even know. I love everything, but I love Oreo cookies, like Oreo cookies and cream, or maple walnut, or like a toffee caramel crunch, or
I'm a little bit more like old fashioned. I'm more of a vanilla guy at heart, but like every once in a while, like I'll do like little s'mores in there, and every once in a while, though, I do let my sweet tooth go overboard, and I get like this triple chocolate kind of thing, and it's like just because it's just awesome. But that's me. I think I have a little simpler. I have simpler taste than you, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So, going kind of back to the fairy, do you read like quite a bit? Because no.
Well, not. I don't know. I've always thought, like, since I was really little, everybody tried to get me to read. I'm like, why would I read somebody else's story when mine is so interesting? And
you're adorable.
And I mean, nobody could get me to read a book for most of my life, but I mean, my brother last Christmas got me a book, and I read 500 pages in 2 days on a road trip. So I do find some books really interesting now. Like, I love Harry Potter. I never got it while all my friends loved Harry Potter my whole life, and then I read the book and I was like, oh my god, I love this. So I do like some books, but I don't often have time.
Well, no, it sounds to me like you're always relatively on the go.
Oh my god, you have no idea.
I have some. I would imagine I have a little, but not to the same probably degree, because you're probably rehearsing, writing, you're performing, right? You're getting gigs lined up, traveling. Like you have it. Like that in itself, just right there is a full-time job. And then there's everything else you're doing too, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I just almost choked. It's crazy how much there is. I guess my mom would say, everybody's like, hey, what a busy girl you are. And my mom would say, hey, I'm a busy mom. She's just along for the fun ride. Which is true.
Her mom is right there, ladies and gentlemen, trying to keep a straight face for this whole interview. It's kind of been fun to watch. I got her to laugh at the incriminating joke before she got it, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So are you from Canada? Like, the reason I asked is, you from Canada or are you from elsewhere, from abroad?
No, so from Canada. My mom is from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Russian girls are the prettiest. And we're badass.
Yes,
Go Russia. The Russians are coming. And I'm half French. My dad is from Quebec.
Ah.
So, which are also very delicate and classic. Well, actually, the Quebec are very crazy too. So I guess I'm just very crazy. But yeah, I love my heritage on both sides. Like, I just love being Russian. I just love it. And I also love being French, so it works out great.
I parlez-vous français, très bien?
Oui, je parle beaucoup de la français parce que ma père vient du Québec, alors je parle le français tout le temps avec ma famille.
Very good. I haven't spoken French in like 20 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I remember little bits of it, but I don't have anyone to practice with. It sounds to me though like you get to do that all the time.
Well, yeah. It's funny because it's harder for me to speak French in Quebec than it is in France. And whenever we go to France, I always go 10 levels up because I don't speak it so often, so I get rusty. But when I go to France, it's so easy because it's so simple.
Yeah, well, they're different. Like, I know this too, just from a dialect point of view, because I've had conversations with people, and I've tried to keep it in French. It's slower for me because I don't do it as often, but it's just like there are just these little differences. It's like, wow, That's cool. So it must be like a culture what developed in Quebec versus what developed in France.
Well, yeah, the Quebec, they use a lot of slang.
Yeah.
Which, if I could catch on to, I will.
You will. Go there long enough, you'll probably I can just imagine you'd like run the place in like 2 weeks.
I hope so.
Just, I like it. You have like no pretensions whatsoever. Please keep that. Whatever you do in this life, please keep that. So, because you seem like when I watched you perform, like you enjoyed the covers, but you like your own stuff a little bit better.
Well, of course. I mean, that's because that's who I am, and it excites me to know that my brand is just being born, and there's so much that I can do with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's really important to have your brand and stick with it, and make sure that people could smell you a mile away and say, "Oh my God, it smells like Sofia Evangelina." You know what I mean? Which I hope I smell great. But anyways, covers are a wonderful way to really broaden your horizons as a singer, because you know I sing a lot of old covers because I want to make my voice strong. I want to make my voice powerful, and I want to make myself able to riff and run and get all that those old girls, I mean the new girls, but you know, the Etta James and Aretha Franklin and Simone, those girls can sing, gosh darn it. Those are the girls with big voices, and I've always wanted nothing less. No matter how long it takes me, but I just want to be the best, and I know I'm hundreds and hundreds of miles away, but the journey is so exciting, and I just can't wait to continue doing that, and continue with covers, and for growing my voice, and then most importantly my songs.
Yes. So, okay, now I'm gonna wrap this up with 3 questions. The first one's gonna be really evil though.
Oh.
Of your 3 songs, which one's your favorite, or does it change on the day-to-day basis?
Oh, jeez.
I know I told you it's an evil question.
Well, they're very different. Like, I gotta say, I love them in different ways. Silly Boys, obviously, like, really just like fun and happy, and every teen girl can relate to it. And it's just, you know, it's a fun song. But something that comes really deep from within is Butterfly and Kids of the World, aka This Is Your Song. This Is Your Song / Kids of the World. I know, it has 2 names, basically. It is officially This Is Your Song, but it's partway Kids of the World because my producers found that they always called it that because that's what they felt it would be called. And that song, before I started singing it, or before I even started writing it, just that concept and that idea, and I started getting melodies in my head, and I started getting, most importantly, the vibe and what I wanted it to be about, because it's such a powerful meaning to me to kind of unite all the kids around the world. And I just really, really loved that song because I've experienced it through so many of my schools, and I know how many of my friends have, or just other peers have. And it's a song about, you know, sometimes kids can feel like so, you know, weak and lost because they have nobody to support them, and they don't know how strong they really are. And sometimes it's the bully themselves who can be weak and lost. And nobody gets that sometimes because they're off their track, so they take it out on other people, when really the bully needs a hug too. So, and it's just to bring everybody together, and that they have their dreams and they have their powers, and they are the future, so they gotta work together, and they gotta all come together and be powerful and be the kids of the world.
That's awesome. Wow.
And I love Butterfly too, though. And I know you asked what's my favorite, so I have to say Kids of the World.
Kids of the World? No, there's because the reason I asked is, like I said, when I saw you perform, it was like you did your first 3 songs, and I just saw your eyes just lit up when you sang Butterfly. You lit up because this is like who you are right at this moment.
Yes, and Butterfly is special because it relates to me every day. I have to remind myself sometimes of my own lyrics. And it relates to people, like I always say this, from 0 years old to 101 years old, or 102 even too.
Yeah. How about 103? Maybe? Maybe.
I think maybe
Okay.
even 104. But it's because it's about like Genesis and going through changes, whether it's on a small daily basis or on a monumental life-changing thing. But you're gonna have to crack out of your cocoon and share your wings with the world, because the world is needing you, it's asking for it. But sometimes it's hard to make changes to your life and go out of your comfort zone. Even me, every day I have to remind myself, Sophia, sometimes you have to expand your mind, or sometimes you have to change. Sometimes you have to expand your horizons and do something new or crazy. And sometimes it's hard and it's scary and you don't want to, but you have to make your wings more beautiful and big.
Well, change is inevitable. It's the only true universal constant is change. All right, you are today, you will not be tomorrow, you will not be 5 years, 10 years. Now, you will see the same person on one hand, but you'll be completely different. It's like layers.
Yes.
Lots of layers. So, I've been writing for about 20 years, and one of the things I've consciously been working on for the last, especially 5 years, is to make myself uncomfortable, because I want to try different things. Like right now I'm writing a story about, I draw stick figures so bad that they revolt, and that's the story, but I'm doing it like I'm writing it like Dr. Seuss would write it. It's my attempt to be a homage to Dr. Seuss. I have a lot more respect for music, ironically, doing this, because when Seuss wrote his stuff, all his stuff has a musical beat to it. And I recognized it when I started really reading his stuff. It's almost, sometimes it's a little jazz, sometimes it's a little like slower, sometimes it's a little faster. But there's always a little bit of music in what he does. So, ironically, writing this project, I respect musicians a lot more, because I know what you guys did was hard, but I didn't appreciate how hard until I tried doing it myself.
I know, and that's one of the things you learn about life. Sometimes you're like, whoa, this is a lot harder than I thought, or whoa, this is a lot easier. Why didn't I ever do this before? And I've experienced both.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean.
Yeah. So there will be some times you'll be like, why did I get in my own way? And everybody has those things, and that's something we all have to work on. But change is the true concept in the universe. So.
Totally.
Miss Sophia, I think we have a pretty good interview here. What do you think?
Oh, I think it was a blast.
Yeah.
I think we could talk all day, but I don't think the listeners got all day this time.
No, but I will say this. Some point down the road, when you've made your millions and millions, because I somehow feel you're going to be very big, right? And that's not very few people, even at my age, have that kind of drive and focus you seem to have, so keep that. Also keep close to this one, because she loves you and she will protect you. And
Mama Bear.
Yeah, Mama Bear is I was intimidated just now, ladies and gentlemen, no, because you shine, you really do, and a lot of people will be drawn to that. Some not so good. So just stay close to her, and you'll be stay close to her, and you'll be fine. You'll make it through, and you'll learn.
And nobody can touch my mama either. Baby cub's gonna come at you. But yeah, she's my BFF, the coolest mom ever. Like literally, she wears so many different capes. Of course, they're all sparkly and glittery. She kicks my butt when I need it, and she's so tough on me to be the best I can be, which I am so grateful for, because like in this world of 8 billion striving people, if you really gotta be somebody, you gotta be somebody, and you gotta do whatever it takes. And without my mom, I wouldn't know that. And she's also so kind and caring, and I can be there and say things I'm scared about, or I'm vulnerable, or I can just be a crybaby, or I can just be a little girl with my mom. And then she's always there for me, and she's also funny and hilarious, and we can talk about things that most girls or most kids would never tell their parents. And she's also so just a gentle mom, and also strong, and teaches me everything. So I love my mom so much, and I love my whole family, and I love my dog, and I love my brother, and I love my daddy. And I also want to say a big thank you to my team, because my manager, Beverly, that's a woman there. That's a woman right there. The woman is incredible. She's already 78, operates basically like a teenager, and she's so sharp, and she has been also very tough on me.
but in such a loving way. And she has been the one who discovered me, she took all my rough edges and smoothed them out and made my smooth edges sharper and everything in between. And she's really taking us on a wonderful journey. She's the one who discovered Michael Bublé.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And also my producer has worked with him too. And so we love her so much, and we can't wait to do so much more with her. She's a part of the family and the team. And I also want to say thank you to my producer, Bryant Olender. Such a sweet soul, amazing, brilliant magician behind the scenes, and in the scenes himself, he's a wonderful musician. And he's made my creative juices and turned them into a smoothie. Just love him so much. And I love that he taught me how to write my songs, and he's the one who ignited this fire inside of me. And that's what I wanted to mention in the beginning, is that I never knew that I would like songwriting so much. In fact, my mom always told me, like, oh, you're going to be such a good songwriter. And I'm like, no, I don't think I will be. It's going to be so hard and this and that. And once I started doing it, now I just can't stop. It's like I can't stop. I just love it so much. And
so going back to what we were talking about earlier, getting your own way sometimes. Like, I don't think I can do it. And then you actually do it. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, why didn't I do this before? And I'm learning about composing music now, and the whole musical and theory part of it too. But that's another conversation. But to sum it up, and we have many new team members on the way who are contributing to our journey and our success, and I can't wait for all the new people to come aboard and who are coming aboard. And obviously all of the people who put together our music videos are wonderful, and people like you who are along the way making interviews, and it's so fun. So thank you.
You're welcome.
That.
Well, I kind of feel I'm still feeling like a little out of my element here, but it's a good thing. I think just because you I think are going to go very, very far. So for the last thing, how can talk about your, like, specifically what your album's called and when it will be released, right, and how can people find you?
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sofia Evangelina, and that's a Sophia spelled with an F. And you can find me on Instagram at sophia.evangelina, and you can find me on YouTube at Sofia Evangelina, and you can find me on Facebook at, guess again, Sofia Evangelina. And basically you have to stay tuned, because my digital album will be released on July 29th, and soon after you have to stay updated on my releases of the singles chronologically, and they'll be coming out with music videos, very Disney themed, awesome. Everybody tell your friends, family, your kids, your uncles, everybody, your nieces and nephews. And lastly, my website is called SofiaEvangelina.com, and that is where you can stay tuned. You can subscribe to our mailing list, and you're going to be entered for all sorts of cool draws. We're going to start creating some beautiful merchandise, which I have a designer in me. Come on, guys, you're going to love it. And you can also stay tuned for free downloads, more information. We're going to have some crazy giveaways. I know, the whole shalam. And so, yeah, that's SofiaEvangelina.com. Thank you so much, guys.
And that was my conversation with Sofia Evangelina. Her music videos are already available on her YouTube channel, which is Sofia Evangelina. You should go there, listen to a couple. The music videos are a lot of fun. They really, really are. I think they're really, really, they fit her perfectly, and I think that's awesome. She has an amazing voice. Whether it's Lean on Me, Hello, which you heard here, or any of her other albums, it really is incredible to listen to. Like I said, she's 15 years old. Check her out. She's awesome. Alright, so beyond all that, Sophia, thank you very, very much for being on my show. You are welcome back anytime. That is this episode just about. I got one little thing to talk about here. So When Words Collide is this weekend. So if you're listening to this, I will be at the Writers' Conference tomorrow. Getting my pass. Tomorrow I'm kind of just goofing off. I'm doing one panel at 9 p.m. Talk about writing and fun. And I'm with some really great panelists with Adam Dries, Jim Jackson, and more. Saturday, I am doing a podcasting at 10 a.m. You should definitely check it out. I'm going to be making grown-ass people tell stories or doing some kind of karaoke. I haven't decided which yet. As of this thing, I'm leaning towards the story, but there is something appealing about making people sing. So we'll see. Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m., Boomtown Pub. It's going to be my first live podcast ever. This one is going to be a board game special. Boomtown Pub. Come on out, play my board game. It's going to be a blast. In the evening, 4 p.m., I will be doing a Dr. Seuss off. I am making grown people read Dr. Seuss aloud, and the best person is going to win a cool prize, I promise. Sunday at 12, I am moderating Women of Stampede panel, and it's going to be great. And that is going to be my weekend. It should be awesome. And there's a lot of other cool authors there, some well-known ones, Joan Nassau, Adam Dries, Susie Vidori. The list of people you're going to meet is great. Randy McCharles organizes a great event every year, and this is going to be no different. So come on out, have a good time. I'll see you there. All right, and then the next episode, I'll have a report afterwards. All right, until then, stay inspired, keep doing your thing. All right.
Josh.